Well, again, everyone, and welcome back to Kovac Enterprises. We are currently working on the Lost in Space robot B9, and this is going to be considered part number 1. First and foremost, before we even started with putting this model together, we went ahead and gave the B9 robot a quick bath to remove all the molding process off of the styrene plastic using like Dawn detergent soap, and basically laid out all the parts on a towel and, like I say, washed them all off, dried them off and everything, so that later on we can go ahead and glue them together now and paint them as we need to. So with that being said, we actually kind of started initially on step number 1 for the head assembly, which is basically the robot's brain. So kind of bringing up the instructions here. So we kind of going to do this step by step as we move along in the series. So right now we started with 1A and 1B here to start off with. So we have the brain top plate and the brain bottom plate, which we glued together, and we basically used the glue and glaze. This is for making crystal clear windows and bonding canopies in most plastics. So we went ahead and used that to glue the first 2 parts together, and then as when we stepped down to the 1B part here, we took our clear parts number 2 and part number 20, and we went ahead and did the same process as far as gluing them all around the triangular part of the brain itself. And once that was done, I went ahead and we used what they call the eyes. It's a very small piece that comes off of our sprue tree. I'll kind of show you that right now. So this is basically what we're looking at here is this little part right here. It's got the number 4 on it, and so I basically used my clippers to cut off this part of it to keep the eye intact, because if you get too close, it's going to probably end up cracking that piece of plastic. So I did go a little bit farther back on the tree line there and cut that part out. And the way they actually molded the clear part, it wasn't an exact oval of the eyes that you see right here, because you see the oval pattern here. So basically what I ended up doing was taking a pair of hemostats and clamping down on one end of the small piece of the eye, and using some sandpaper, just kind of like a grit sandpaper, and just kind of reshaped the eyes so that they would be able to fit into the recessed parts of our little brain right here. So you can see right now this is our one eye here and one eye here, and so by remodifying it and getting it to make it a little bit smaller so that it would actually fit into the recessed part of the of this number 20 part for the brain. So we did that side there, we did this side here. Again, we used some of the glue and glaze, and then once it was set up, I actually came back and I used some Tamiya extra thin cement here, and actually just kind of went over the entire brain, all along here, all the way around the side here, and then just a little bit more by some osmosis, and just let the gravity kind of let it fill into any kind of little gaps. So I was very frugal with it. And so this is what we have. We have a first piece kind of built for the 1A and 1B. So this is where we're at for that. So okay, stay tuned. We will come back to finish up on step number 1. We have 1C, 1D, and 1E to complete our step 1 for our head assembly. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back, and I just kind of want to say I apologize for the length of time that this is taking. This past week I had to do some overtime at my workplace, so it was hard for me to get back to the workbench to continue the progress of this step 1 of the instructions here. So this is what I ended up doing. Was I ended up painting the main part of the robot's brain, and I'll kind of bring this into the camera view here. All right, so there we go. We've gotten, this is part of the 1A, 1B, and 1C of the instructions. So basically what I did was use about 3 different types of paint for completing this part of it. So what we had here is the first part was the silver sterling again from Folkart, and that's in relation to basically this part right here, as well as the top part of the clear part of the of this section, which was been number 16 here. And as far as the little let me see what we got here. We got the small light bulbs, as you can see right here. We used the Tamiya clear amber color, and I just basically brushed it onto each of the 3 bulbs, as you can see here on the top part, and just kind of let that sit overnight. And then we've gotten the sides, the main background of the sides. We'll kind of flip this around here, like so, all the way around. And with that, even though the instructions were calling for a suggested paint of the, I guess it's the medium metallic gray, I just basically went into my stash of paint, and we went ahead and chose the Folkart gunmetal gray. This is the 667 for the gunmetal gray. It's the metallic type of paint, so we did that. And as far as the hieroglyphics, I went ahead and took a toothpick and I dipped it into some of the Tamiya lemon yellow paint. Let's see if I actually have this for you guys. Yeah, it's the lemon yellow. This is what I used. It's the X-8 in the Tamiya jar. So lemon yellow. So that is what I used. And like I said, I just took the end of a toothpick and dipped it in there, and then just kind of scribed it into the hieroglyphics on all 3 sides, as you can see here. So there you go. So that was done there. And as far as step number 1D, I took some of the parts and I first did a kind of a base coat using gray on the original molding of the of this part, and everything's been hand brushed on there. And we went ahead and went with the gunmetal gray as well for this too. So there's that top part there. That's the I guess the brain cup top half. And then as far as the brain cup bottom half, we did the same thing. So there's that. And then I did a little bit of some other sprue trees here I guess this is part of where his arms come out. So we did that and painted that all up in gunmetal gray. So there you go. All right, so that was finished. This has a base coat of the Craftsmart gray on there, and I'll probably end up using the flat black, and I'll probably end up spraying that on with my Pache airbrush. So there you go, there's that. And then as far as going back to the clear parts on the sprue trees here, as far as, I guess these are the finger lights. So I know it's kind of hard to see, but we did put a coat of some gray paint over the clear part. There's going to be 7 of these. I'm going to come back and brush on some of that gunmetal gray on the lower part of the clear part of the finger lights. And then as far as the this part here on the end, I'll go back to my Tamiya amber clear and hand brush that on like I did with the light bulbs on top of the brain itself, and kind of bring those to light to simulate the lights coming on. So like I said, that's where we're at right now. I know it's been kind of a slow start, but we are moving along. And so with that being said, keep it short and sweet, and we will talk to you again on the next episode. Will be episode number 2, and on this P9 project. So with that being said, I hope everybody has a good day, and this is Kovac Enterprises, and we are signing off.